Hello, I'm James Jeffrey, and I'm the genealogy librarian here at the Denver Public Library. And I want to share with you today a bit of information about obituaries. Obituaries are the final word. That is, it is the notice in the paper, usually a newspaper, sometimes professional journals, of your passing. It is your biographical last word. Obituaries appear when someone has passed. The first notice is usually called a death notice. Then you'll have funeral notices, and then sometimes an obituary, and followed by a burial notice. We've discovered here at the Denver Public Library with our obituaries, which began with 1913 and continue through until the last 2 years, 2016 is the last. We then rely upon America's obituaries and death notices because they're very complete. You'll notice that in the obituary indexes that we have online that there will be multiple notices for a person, and that's because we are indexing funeral, death, burial, and obituary notices. For certain time periods, 1944 through 1989, it is to the large obituary only. For that, I'm sorry, but that's what they were indexing then. Since 1990 through the end of the run, and then all the back indexing that we're doing, we're indexing everything. So look for those notices. If you have a date of death, or a date of burial, and you don't find them in our obit file between 1944 and 1989, send the request to us anyway, and we'll see if we can't find a funeral, death, or burial notice. Well, what is a death notice? Death notice is that first appearance in the paper after someone has died. It is that notice that will say, John Smith has died. And that will give you a clue to start looking for notices after that date. You will see that with a funeral notice that it will list the funeral home, what the arrangements are, where someone is to be buried. The burial notice will note that someone their funeral is at 10 o'clock in the morning or 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and burial at Riverside or Fairmount. It'll list the cemetery. That'll give you a good clue to then go look for cemetery records. In an obituary, you get a lot of lovely detail. You'll have usually the name of the individual, their date of birth, their place of birth, sometimes who their parents were, their spouse, if they were blessed with a spouse, how long they've been in Denver, what their occupation was, listing of children, number of grandchildren, great-grandchildren, that sort of thing. If they're being buried from a church, the name of that church, the name of the minister, providing sometimes the listing of pallbearers, and where someone is to be buried. These are excellent clues to help you find additional information in other sort of records, such as funeral home records, cemetery records. So that I certainly encourage you to come and visit us here at the Denver Public Library, either in person or digitally, and we will assist you in any way we can in finding the last words of your ancestor. Thank you so much. And we look forward to helping you with your research.